Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Sports with Monga. And what a game! Arsenal versus Leeds. Pretty scintillating. Also, given the fact how it started, with a 40-minute delay due to a power outage. That's pretty strange to hear on a football match. But apparently, Chris Kavanagh and assistants, along with the VAR, Paul Tierney, they were not able to talk to each other. There was a communication gap. They didn't allow any fronts, like any communication flow. And also there was a pretty weird screen on top, almost like a Microsoft update happening somewhere. But coming back to the game, 40-minute delay, match started. A great, I would say it was a full-on thrilling match, in my opinion. Leeds kind of pushing from the front with Rodrigo and Aronson. Oh my God, I really like the way he's a boy, and the boy plays really well. March had his idea cut out. He knew that they cannot concede a goal in the first 15 to 20 minutes. He played with the press. He made Arsenal defend. They had good chances as well themselves. They could have finished a couple or like, yeah, not clear, but then yes, they could have scored a goal or two in the first half. But yeah, the goal came. The goal was literally kind of made by an error almost. But Bukayo Saka kind of just nailing the score, nailing from the far right corner on the like top of the net. Melia could have done better. He just went down too easily. If he just stood up there, it would have been a different game, or it could even be a good save. The game ended. Arsenal won, Leeds nil. A lot of things happened in that game. That's kind of a lot of things happened. Bamford missed a penalty. Yeah, he just missed it. He just snuffed it kind of on the left side. It just went too acute, or maybe he didn't go for the top bin or something. He just wanted to kind of place it well, couldn't place it. He's been on and off. Rodrigo started this game up top. That was again another. It was good to see him, but then that kind of changed, and that was kind of in the first half itself. That sub, but Bamford couldn't finish that penalty itself. The game kind of was rolling in a way in a direction where it was going to get to a draw, but like Leeds kind of pumped it up at the end because Arsenal was not clearing their line. They were not kind of they were not they generally have been very solid, right? Like when it comes to 89, 88, 87 minutes, they're really at the corner. They're kind of holding the ball up. They're not allowing you to kind of play around. But today was pretty different. They kind of let the ball flow, which is pretty strange to see. And a little controversial moment at the end with Bamford and Gabriel, the defender, Gabriel from Arsenal, kind of getting into each other, like, and Gabriel kind of pointing his feet and hitting Bamford to kind of shown a straight red after a quick consultation with the assistant sideline referee. But it was pretty much clear from the VAR that it was Bamford who kind of first bumps into Gabriel to kind of provocate him, but then Gabriel kind of goes down and then shows his studs. It was pretty strange. It was a red card and it was a penalty, but then it went to a VAR review. The VAR said it was not a penalty, but it was still a dangerous kind of play by Gabriel, which was pretty strange. So why was that not a penalty? I didn't get that. I guess it was just more to kind of say it's not an offense of the sort that he was blocking any play to happen. So that kind of cleared him out of the red card, but then it was still dangerous enough to kind of deem a yellow for Gabriel. But I think Leeds were pretty good. I would say Leeds' performance have been pretty sharp. They've been pretty good. Arsenal kind of fought it out. Like they had to kind of go dig deep with all the chances and the penalty as well. They could have gone down 1-2-1 at one occasion, but Leeds couldn't finish their chances that they had. Even Martinelli was good to see, but then I almost felt like, I think the number of games is getting to them now. Like like I felt Jesus was almost like not there in the game. The as much we've seen him in the other games. Odegaard was closed down pretty quickly. They were not allowing any time on the ball for Odegaard or Xhaka, anybody. Leeds were pretty on it from the start itself. But yeah, and I also feel Saliba was good. Saliba played really nicely. But Leeds, I think, were the better team. It was Arsenal's grit that allowed them to kind of stay on the top. Arteta still is like, this is their best ever start. This is the best ever start for Arsenal. So it almost, and they stay on the top, and they stay on top as well, with 27 points after 10 games played. And continue to be there. So it's kind of, it is a little surprise to a lot of people as well, like what happens going forward from here. Yes, and we are interested to know, how Arsenal kind of goes into the next fixtures that they have. They do not play in the next mid-game week in a way. They play directly now, us 1 week after, with Southampton. There's a blank game week for both Arsenal and Manchester City for the next game week. So that's going to be interesting to see. They get a good rest time as well. But 1-0 to Arsenal. Do let me know, what do you think about the game? Do you think it was a red card? I was like, should that have stayed? And Gabriel kind of lost his mind in the end of it, or was Bamford? Do you like, what was that? Was that a shove? You expect to kind of, to a defender and a striker, you are expecting to kind of shove yourselves a little and kind of get into each other's faces. But then, yeah, let me know what you think. And see you in the next video.